So I'm just waiting for my chips and thinking, what a day it's been. If your name is Adam Schiff, you're celebrating. If your name is Jim Jordan, you're hiding. And if your name is Kevin McCarthy, you're learning that word. Never mind.
So tonight the Republicans in the House voted to censure me. And let me see if I can break down what this was all about. A representative from Florida, who's one of the extreme MAGA Republicans named Luna, ironically, introduced a resolution last week to censure me. It failed. 1 out of every 10 Republicans voted against this abuse of the House process. She brought it back this week, and the main difference was that Donald Trump put out a statement saying that any Republican that voted against this censure would be or should be subject to a primary challenge. And as his threats have often done in the past, it worked. All those that voted against it last week voted for it this week, and it passed on a party line basis. Now, I need to tell you, this is very rare to have a censure resolution and never used to basically try to silence someone who has stood up to their party leader. That is a completely illegitimate use of a censure resolution. But you know, I'll tell you, something very surprising happened. After the vote passed, all of a sudden, Democratic members moved down into the well. Now, the well is the sort of the bottom of the House floor where the speakers line up to speak to the House. And after a resolution of censure passes, the subject of the censure, me in this case, is supposed to go to the well where they can reprimand me. But instead, what happened is it seemed like 200 of my Democratic colleagues filled the well. I remember some of the members saying, "What's going on? What's happening?" I wasn't even sure. I knew that some of the members wanted to join me in the well, but I wasn't expecting such an overwhelming response. And they shouted at Speaker McCarthy, "Shame, shame on you, shame." And it really seemed like Kevin McCarthy was the one being censured. And I have to say, I'm very grateful to my Democratic colleagues. I was proud to represent them and the caucus in investigating Donald Trump's abuse of power. I represented the caucus in the impeachment trial, and I represented the caucus again on the January 6th committee. And I think this was their way of saying, hey, you've been leading for us, we're going to be there for you. And I'm grateful to them. Finally, I would say to abuse the censure this way is something that's never been done before. And it threatens to really, again, diminish the House of Representatives as an institution. Their goal is to go after people they think are effective in standing up to them and standing up to Donald Trump, their party leader. And they hope to chill others from doing what I did. It's not going to deter me, I promise you that, but they hope it will deter others. And we need to fight back because this would be another degradation of our system of checks and balances if this kind of intimidation were to succeed. I'm going to do all I can to make sure it doesn't.
No matter how many false justifications or slanders you level against me, you but indict yourselves. As Liz Cheney said, there will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain. This resolution attacks me for initiating an investigation into Trump campaign solicitation and acceptance of Russian help in the 2016 election, even though the investigation was first led not by me, but by a Republican chairman. It would hold that when you give internal campaign polling data and your polling data to a Russian intelligence operative, while Russian intelligence is helping your campaign, as Trump's campaign chairman did, that you must not call that collusion, though that is its proper name, as the country well knows. It would fine me for the costs of the critically important Mueller investigation into Trump's misconduct, even though the special counsel was appointed by Trump's own attorney general. It would reprimand me over a flawed FISA application as if I were its author or I was the director of the FBI, and over flaws only discovered years later and by the Inspector General, not Mr. Durham. In short, it would accuse me of omnipotence, the leader of some vast deep state conspiracy, and of course, it is nonsense.
Today we meet not to lower the costs of prescription drugs, nor to expand President Biden's infrastructure plan, nor to protect the voting rights of the people, nor to protect the health care choices of women across America, because we know they're definitely not interested in that. No, we meet rather for another stop on the GOP's endless revenge tour against Democrats who dared to tell the truth about Donald Trump and his repeated sellouts and betrayals of the American people over the last 6 years. It's all about Donald Trump tightening his stranglehold over Republicans for the 2024 campaign and driving out anyone who dares to think for himself or herself. But don't take my word for it. Just read Friday's statement by the twice impeached inciter of insurrection, sexual abuser, defamer of women, and indicted pilferer of national security secrets, war plans, and top secret classified documents himself. On Friday, Trump posted this order to his followers and this unveiled threat to anyone who would dare to defy his control over the GOP. Quote, "Any Republican voting against Adam Schiff's censure or worse should immediately be primaried," he wrote.
Today, we are on the floor of the House where the other side has turned this chamber, where slavery was abolished, where Medicare and Social Security and everything were instituted, they've turned it into a puppet show. A puppet show. And you know what? The puppeteer, Donald Trump, is shining a light on the strings. You look miserable. You look miserable. The only advantage to all of this is that instead of reversing what we did on the IRA to save the planet, or reversing what we did to reduce the cost of prescription drugs, you're wasting time.
Thank you, the distinguished gentleman from Maryland. Boy, is Adam Schiff powerful. He can at once be the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, the special counsel investigating Donald Trump, manage and run the FBI, and be a judge ruling on FISA applications. It is remarkable that he, from his perch in Congress, can do all of that. Of course, he didn't do any of that. All he did was properly impeach the President of the United States for his gross abuse of power. You want to talk about collusion? Let me ask my Republican colleagues, if a campaign manager for a campaign is giving internal information to a Russian intelligence agent, is that collusion? Because that was the once classified information that is now public and now constitutes collusion. And there are so many other issues. There is nothing in this motion, this resolution that
I want to yield
is
the gentleman
true.
an additional 20 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
One of my colleagues says, "We will hold members accountable." You are the party of George Santos. Who are you holding accountable? The guy is an alleged and acknowledged liar and indicted, and you protect him every day. Don't lecture us with your projection and your defense of Donald Trump. It's pathetic, and it's beneath you, and it's beneath this body, and I yield back.
Adam Schiff today was censured along party line votes. What is your assessment of the full day, starting with Durham, ending in that censure vote, and why they chose to make him, I believe, the third member censured this century in a body that has seen multiple felons and currently includes George Santos?
So again, how does this move the American family forward? How does this grow our economy? I note that the author of this censure resolution, Representative Luna, has introduced a total of 6 bills in her entire career. 5 of them are about Adam Schiff. That's rather obsessive. And this strange obsession that the Republicans have with doing stupid stuff. None of this is helping grow our economy or moving the American family forward.
Resolution 521. The House has resolved that the House of I have all night. By its adoption of House Resolution 521, the House has resolved that the House of Representatives censures Adam Schiff, representative of the 30th Congressional District of California, for misleading the American public and for conduct unbecoming of an elected member of the House of Representatives. That Representative Adam Schiff will be forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. That Representative Adam Schiff will be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker. And that the
I can't even begin to. Did you know? It's incredible. Okay, this is like watching a regurgitation of every bit of nonsense put out on Fox News over the past few years in terms of the deep state, the Durham, the Pfizer. I mean, it is just like the fact that there is real situations that need a... Do you know what? Hold on one second. Hush up. Hush. Just hush. Hush. Is my remote working? You can't shut these people up when you try. There we go, it's better. The fact that there are real serious situations across America, whether it's health, I'll go through the list, whether it's jobs, whether it's schools, whether it's gun safety, whether it's about the economy. These are real basic situations that instead you have representatives who are just spouting out garbage. I missed Durham report, I can't even be bothered to go into it. You know, just to get a soundbite that can be chopped into a clip and pushed out on blue tick Twitter, or Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, where they'd like bring in some talking head, they'll play the clip, they'll bring in the representative, and it goes round and round and round. This is just really the worst of the worst on display. You look at other countries who maybe supposedly don't have such a, how should we say, sophisticated political setup, and they'll be watching this thinking, why is this going on? First of all, when was Hillary Clinton president? Just asking. No. But why is this whole thing, every other word is about the Clintons and Hillary Clinton, they have nothing. Now, it wouldn't matter if this was just like a fringe meeting or something, a cesspack or whatever it is when they get together, but this is a full-on, paid-for government hearing. You can't tell me that the people, and when I say the people, I mean everybody, is served by this buffoonery. For me, Cori Bush hits the nail on the head. So does Adam Schiff. So does Eric Swalwell. So does Jerry Nadler. Or Nadler, rather. It goes on and on and on. And all they have to say back is, oh, wow, it's political, you know, they're trying to say this. This is an embarrassment. You know, if Jim Jordan would like his legacy to be something apart from Jim Jordan in a wrestling changing room, well, he's not really going the right way about it. Because I get the idea of Jim Jordan's whole legacy is to let the world know that he shoved his head right up the anal passage of former guy and then speaks all the caca and shit that he says. Why they are laying down in the road to be literally pummeled left, right and centre for a guy that really, when push comes to shove, let's face it, if former guy was facing going to jail or saying, Jim Jordan, nothing to do with me, I hardly know him, do you really think Jim Jordan and the rest of them that literally slavish everything, you know, like a hungry dog? That's what they do. Do you really, really think, hand on heart, former guy has any level of faith, trust and belief in these clowns? No.